It's profound, and I only write profound things. And it's, hey, Instagram is me, T from the Pattersons taking change to bed. It's blue light. I know you don't think it's blue light, but it's blue light. Look at the scarlet light out there right now. I don't know if you can see it. That's where the sunrise is going to come up, right over there. And blue light is like 20 minutes before, a half hour before sunrise. I think we're about 20 minutes in before sunrise right now. See that scarlet out there? Hey, it's going to be a grand rising. Which reminds me, this is a grand rising report. Ah, and the blue light brigade should be in attendance. Look, this is the last time at the sea. Oh, there is something I wrote in it. This is the last time at the sea here in southern India. But I wrote a poem from Instagram. You should have saw the poem last night. But there's a line in the poem for the Consaba. See, here's the thing. I guess, as they say, I'm a registered poet. I got published the poetry thing, stuff like that. Anyway, but the point is, but I don't consider myself a poet like that. I'm more of like a wordsmith. I guess there's all kinds of poets, whatever it is. Okay, so did I have something right here? So don't worry, okay, we got some instructions. Well, I don't know if we have some instructions here. No, that's the other one. That's the last one. Here. Let Glory Reign was a Consaba I wrote, and how you say, wait, I recited it. I had a recitation of it, sorry. Last night at Johnny's, it'll be the last time I go to Johnny's, for the season. When I come back, I'll be back in this area next January. Guaranteed. Why? Because the 3 months that I spent here, it'll be downtime, it makes me do other things. I do a lot of writing, a whole lot of thinking, which means to you, plotting. I'll just say it. And anyway, so one of the lines, Consaba is a 7-line poem. Each line consisting of 7 words, and there's 7 syllables or less to a word, except for proper nouns. So it makes it a 49-word poem. But I'm not going to do the whole poem because I've done it 7 times already. But there was this line that I have here. But let me say that the first line I had with this here ocean having our backs. Now that translates to like here, with this here meaning this, when you at the ocean you hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when audio when it plays. It's like back in the day. I do the Greek day because people don't know. Hey, it's before campfires, but let me do the Greeks, right? They would go to whatever they went to, not the Colosseum, that's the Lions and the Romans, right? They went to whatever they went to, the Pantheon, I don't know, one of those biggie words like that. And they would go to hear a poem. Then eventually when they morphed into theater, they were going to hear a theater. So everything is here, everything is sound, it's frequency. You got to tune in to the frequency. You see what I'm saying? So here, H-E-R-E, I hear, H-E-A-R, the sound of the sea, and that gives me a certain whatever. But with this here ocean having our backs, that is the thing. Having our backs, now that's ghetto talk, or project talk, or black English talk, urban English talk. But when you say I got your back, it means I love you. Now here's the thing. We was doing that. We were saying in the 70s. Nobody was saying that. But then, slowly, when the league, the NFL and the NBA, they started to get more. They had black people in. They got more black people. Black people got more pronounced, and they came more from the projects and more from those refined, schools that that made them, that shaped them. I'm not going to say made them, right? Then they gradually would do what they do back in the ghetto or the project, and say like, "Hey, I got your back, man. I got your back." So that finally got into the bigger thing of the culture. And so now you hear, the white coaches, the white players, they would say, "I got your back, man." Blah 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 blah. Anyway, so this is what I'm saying. When you hear all this, it's got our back. But then I went to, that was it. That's all I wanted to tell you. The first line is a ghetto line. This here ocean having our backs. Oh. I love Consabas. See, that's about the wordsmith. But the words become poetry when the poet, the deliverer, the recitationer, the reciter, right, makes it wherever they come from, makes it from their background, from their, that's what it's all about. Anyway, here, we're in Blue Light. So that's Blue Light Brigade. This is the last time we get to talk to you, you know, in southern India at the beach where the ocean got our backs, right? So I thought I'd make this a special kind of thing, but it ain't kind of special. Because look, Grand Rising Report, I suppose it reported what happened in the last few, right? But a lot has happened, my goodness, and it still keeps on happening. And it's really interesting because my wife is by the sea in southern Africa, and she's had almost like the same revelations I've had. You see, it's really interesting, right? We're hooked up. It's good, you know. We're oceans apart. Well, I guess this hooks up with the Indian Ocean somehow. She's over there by, that would be the Indian Ocean over there by East London, yeah. Anyway, the point is this. But a lot has happened, you know. I think, whatever. The point is, these last few days, these last few hours, I'm getting these revelations, these kind of things. Oh, you're doing right, you're on the right path. Keep on going, chill, don't push anything. I got one final thing to do with this hammock, and now I'm thinking that maybe I'll go to the guy that just ships the hammock, because he only ships to Germany, and I ask him, you know, well, how much would it really cost to ship it from here to South Africa? And if it's not that much in rupees, I might have it shipped. But then again, if I get the thing, I might carry it. I don't know. Something's going to happen. I got to work it out. Let's put it that way, because it's a heavy hammock. They got real cotton. This is real cotton. And I'm a frail guy. I'm just building my muscle back up. My wife's building her muscles up too. I'm just building my muscle back up in the next few months. And this is the beginning of the next few months. So, you know what I'm saying? Then again, you know, I'm an old man. They'll help at the airport, you know, porters, you know, pay them and stuff like that. That's what happens when you get older. You're supposed to have money. I don't have that money, but I have enough money now. Well, I have enough money to do some essential things, right? But the point is, right, when you move along, you compensate. Well, you figure out what's going on. So it was storming last night. Lights went out, but I don't know if that's from the storming. And now it's interesting because it rained all night, so it's like at the beach right now. This beach needs to be cleaned up, man. I don't know why they don't. Well, whatever reason, you know, they got enough people that need work. Well, it's India, right? If they ever clean this beach up, you know, talk about the debris, because the water takes care of itself, then it would be kind of interesting. I mean, they have a large coastline from Pondy to through Kathmandu coastline, but I guess the north is coming down, so they're going to be, you know, there's a lot of construction, so they'll come with the gentrification. They say, hey, no, this beach, we can make this beach look better, and they'll make it look better. That's the way it works. But anyway, so that's on that front. Don't worry, Blue Light Brigade, I'm not going to give you any more instructions about, you know, what we're doing, because, you know, we have to be at the, you know, we have to be at the reparations conference in September, and we're focused on that, and there's a lot going on. You know, I hear, look, here's the thing. I guess news flash, breaking news, how would you say it? Our guy, well, my guy, as you know, the three Sahel guys, the guy with the red beret, the guy with the brown beret, the guy with the green beret. Well, the guy with the green beret is the Mali guy. Now, the Mali guy, because Timbuktu is there and they get the library, I identify with him more than the other people. Don't get me wrong, the red beret guy is still my commander-in-chief. He's like that. But my immediate supervisor, my immediate guy is Gorta, and he's just been elected because first he was a colonel when I was first under his command, and I sort of like that, like colonels, you know what I mean? When you get to be generals, then you get to be like administrators, you get to be, like that. But then he was general for a while, and now he's president of Mali for, how do I say, basically a 5-year term that can be extended. So let's say 10 years if we do a good job. He seemed to be, like the rest of them, they seem to be doing a good job. But here's the thing. So this means that he's now a president. So I guess that's why they made him the general first. But that means he's more of an administrator, you know, which is all right. So he's left the ranks, you know. So us mere soldiers, us mere warriors, us soldiers, Blue Light Brigade, you know, we soldiers, we on the ground. We like the ant workers, you know, that don't get killed, you know. We're not the workers that don't get killed. We the workers that be working, doing the do, right? So just know that, you know, well, at least my personal guy he's an administrator now. In fact, I was an administrator. I left being an administrator because I'm going no, I'm an audio dramatist. I know, well, I can be an administrator, but only for a short period of time. So, oh, there you go. We got to make some adjustments, right? If you're a Blue Light Brigade and you're an administrator right now, I can't stop you from being an administrator. You got to make your bread. You got to make that bag. You got to make your money. I like to say bag these days because that makes me sound modern. Bread makes me sound older. Paper. I guess paper. No, paper's a little bit older than bag. I don't know. You know how black people are. We done changed the lexicon. Lexicon one of the big words. I don't even know if I'm using it right. We done changed the lexicon all the time. People get confused. They don't know what to do. That story. I told you that story about. was it that Clockers? Was it Clockers? They made it into. It's a Richard Price. It was a Richard Price one of the books. I read it when it was the book, and they made it into a Spike Lee film, and the language changed so much that the language he used in the film, which was in the movie that was in the book that was then was inappropriate. It didn't change. They had to change. They just whatever. That's neither here nor there. So hey, look at that. Nice. Light's getting lighter. Why? I wonder when the sun's coming up. It's gonna come up soon. I wonder if it'll peek through that thing, because usually I come here and I don't see the sun peeking up through the thing because they have this cloud cover. That's why you saw the little crimson there. So that would be good. Anyway, so Blue Light Brigade, I'm traveling now. We're traveling, so we look sort of like, I won't say hiatus, but you're onto your device, you're onto your own kind of thingy, right? That without any interference, any suggestions from me. Not that you're supposed to take my suggestions. You're supposed to be thinking on your own. That's the whole thing about the Blue Light Brigade. We're a secret organization. We secret because we don't know each other. We don't know you know how we're going to know? The results. That's right. We're result orientated. Hey, there's a good one. We're result orientated. So, well, don't you know? Don't you have meetings? No. Don't you have conferences? No. Don't you have? Well, don't you all get together sometime? No. Well, how do you exist if you're an organization? Because we exist in our minds and in the ether, the atmosphere, the air, the ether, the zeitgeist, the vibration that is happening all around. As long as we can vibrate with what's happening, what's real, you know what I mean? Then we are organization. I'm just letting you know how we exist, right? Which also means it's very difficult to destroy us, So now you have these in fact, when they had that Gorta was announced that he's president, and they had some sort of some sort of rally or whatever they had, right? And they mentioned and people came, they was coming to his inauguration, his acceptance of the presidency, whatever it is, and so they had representatives from all the countries. When they mentioned Burkina Faso, there was and even Troy, he wasn't there, The captain wasn't there, our commander, he wasn't there. Well, my commander wasn't there, the commander-in-chief, he wasn't there. But of course, he got the loudest disruptive, I shouldn't say disruptive, the loudest sustained, ovation there was. And that's going to keep on going. That's what you do. That's the things that Blue Light Brigade is about, right? We don't do it the way that they want to do it, that they have countermeasures. They have countermeasures all the time about that, you know what I mean? If you have a demonstration with placards, they'll infiltrate your demonstration with people with placards that say some stupid stuff. Or if you have a demonstration walking down the street, they have infiltrate people who do some stuff to knock you off. You know what I mean? That gives you a black eye, a bad name for your thing. They have all kinds of, because they've been known for years. But how you fight an organization that one don't have no leaders, they don't have a membership role. I mean, how do you fight that? And they know when to speak up. How do you fight that? They're in trouble. And so, it's like an audience applause. Hey! You get the tepid applause, then you get the then you get the rah, you get the stadium, you get the football in soccer, you get the football applause. Now when you have that, then you know something's happening. Like when that happened in the football soccer thing, something happened with some tragedy happened, and they sang, "You shall now walk along." The whole stadium, both sides sang that thing. That's the kind of thing that's happening. That's the thing that's there. People are being democratic these days because by being who they are, whenever they need to, wherever they are, whenever they can be. So if you're a killer, unless you're surrounded by a bunch of killers, you are a killer. Then you nothing. You know what I mean? If you're a colonizer, what kind of power do you have? Because you ain't got the people behind you. If the people ignore you, they sit on their hand. You say do this, and they don't say anything. Well, there you go. That's what it is. So anyway, I'm gonna leave you. The sun's gonna rise if it hasn't risen. No, it hasn't. No, it's not. I'm not gonna wait. We're not gonna do our breathing thing. You do it on your own. Come on, you're on your own now for a few. You know, because the sunrise will be different places. Because tomorrow morning I still, well, you know, will I be at the beach? You know, when I'm in Virginia, I'll be. Let me see. When I'm in New York, I'll be close to the East River. Maybe I'll walk down the East River on Mondays. Well, I only have one Monday there. I don't know. I'll see what happens. And then when I'm in Virginia, I could get to the beach, the same beach that did the thing to me, right? I'll figure something out on Mondays and Thursdays, or Mondays and or Thursdays. But usually, you know what you do. I walk and you do your exercise. You know, then you have the 10 minutes of your thinking. You know, plotting, planning. You know, right or that. And then, you know, there's the grand rise, and then you go like, hey, thank you for the new day. All right? Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.